Good morning. It is Reset Monday. Monday, August 15th, 2022. Welcome everybody to another Monday. I just need to do some tagging here in the comments. And yeah, so I hope you all are doing great. Did everybody have a good weekend? Hey, listen, if you are watching live, give us a hashtag live. If you are watching on the replay, hashtag replay. And as always, go ahead and hit the notifications so that you get this information and we can continue to stay connected. Also, go ahead and invite a friend into this group so we can continue to grow. And I would greatly appreciate that. So, geez. Okay, I always have this trouble tagging people. And okay, so how's everybody doing? So today is another Reset Monday, and we're just going to continue to have this conversation about brain and brain health because it's so important for us. It is, oh, there we go. Hold on. I think that's where I need to be. You know, as we go into, there we go. Let's see if that does it. As we start to get older, it's really important that we take even more notice of our brain health, our overall health, and it's what's going to give us the longevity in life. And I've got some pretty scary statistics for you as well that I think will also allow you to take notice so that you can have a good, healthy life long into old age. So this is really, okay. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Everyone, there we go. Facebook has this new feature, doesn't seem to be working. There we go. Okay, got it. All right, so that should alert everybody there. All right, great. So when we talk about brain and brain health, and today, well, and last week too, we were talking about Alzheimer's, dementia, what it means to actually have a healthy brain, some of the connections in the studies that are out there and why we need to have a healthy brain, why some of the other things that you might be experiencing with your health might be affecting your brain. And oftentimes people don't consider that the things that they're doing in their lives actually affect brain health. So I will get people in my office who have, migraine headaches or just regular headaches or even brain fog, or, then we have ADD, ADHD, we have other brain issues, dementia and Alzheimer's. So there's this scale of things. So anything that happens up in your head and thought clarity, decision making, those are all brain issues, but they're coming from a specific spot. And so that's the conversation we need to have. So I did post yesterday when I posted that we are going live today, I posted with regards to some of the stats. So I'm going to read you some of this stuff. So Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia. So dementia is the overarching umbrella, and Alzheimer's is a piece of that. And it is statistically the fastest growing form of dementia. As of 2019, an estimated 5.6 million Americans had Alzheimer's disease. And it is the sixth leading cause of death. So think about that. We're trying to battle against heart disease, cancer, stroke. I forget what 4 and 5 are. Probably could remember that in a minute. But now we have Alzheimer's and dementia as the sixth leading cause of death. That's big, and it's preventable. So there's also we're going to talk about genetics. Maybe not in today's broadcast. I have a lot to go through today. Bentley's under the table, and he's moving the camera. Okay. So what we want to be able to do today is talk about the overarching theme of what it means to have a healthy brain, and then we're going to talk next week more at how to actually, what are your action steps that you need to take? How can you start getting a healthier brain now, today, so that you are protected later on in life, all right? And if any of these other things and you're having other metabolic issues, that's a red flag for you that you've got to be taking care of yourself now. So I have lots of highlighted spots in my Townsend newsletter because this is just such an amazing article and amazing information coming at us today. So this, and reason I want to read some of this stuff is it's confirmation for everything that I teach. This is in the studies, you guys. So, saying we need to eat healthy and be healthy and live and breathe better, this is not just, rhetoric. We've heard this stuff, but now perhaps, it's like saying you need to quit smoking, but most smokers are like, yeah, I know that. But if you connect it to something that really matters, if you do have a family history of dementia and Alzheimer's, these things that we're going to talk about today are going to help prevent that for you. So this is one of the conclusions from this particular study was a whole body approach is needed to be more effective in preventing, managing, and treating Alzheimer's disease. For example, the foods we eat and the health in our gastrointestinal system. Where have you heard that before? That your gut is the key to everything. We have got to take care of our gut in order to have a healthy body and a healthy brain. They communicate. The gut is the second brain. The foods we eat and the health of our gastrointestinal system play a major role in our brain health because although the brain is only 1 to 2% of our body weight, it utilizes 20% of our body's energy. So think about that, 2% weight, but 20% of your body's energy. You've got to take care of it. You got to start thinking about, right? No pun intended. We got to start thinking about how we're doing that. Hold on. Dismiss there. Am I still on? There we go. Okay, sorry. I think I was hitting the keyboard. All right. Hope I didn't mess anything up there. All right. So then it moves into lifestyle considerations play a critical role in our brain's health and its ability to function well. So when we talk about lifestyle issues, 75% of diseases today are preventable because they are diseases of lifestyle, even cancer and heart disease. These are lifestyle diseases. So 75% of the control is in your hands to be able to give you and manage a better life, a life full of longevity, and I always talk about my mom and I say, I know it's a little morbid when I say she just dropped dead at 86 years old, but she lived this life. We ate healthy. She exercised every day. She walked. She connected with people. She had a strong social network. All of those things, she was very, she's very religious, spiritual, believed in God. Like these are all factors that help with longevity. Lived on her own, drove. She was just in exercise class 3 days ahead of time. So we don't want to watch our loved ones suffer. And I don't think any of us want to suffer. We don't want to be in a home, for months and years and have somebody else wiping our ass. Like who wants that? Nobody. So live these principles so that one day you can just drop dead and know that you did everything for your good health and wellness. All right. I know it sounds bad, but it is what it is. Okay. So genetic factors do play a role, but that's when we're going to talk about epigenetics a little bit later. So does how we live our lives through maintaining a healthy diet, exercising regularly, maintaining a positive outlook on life, and tending to one's emotional well-being, including managing excessive anger, resentment, and the effects of chronic stress. Traumas are big. People go through traumas for years. I've got a good friend of mine who's been in 2 really, really abusive relationships for probably 13, 14 years. And she's had weight gain. She can't get the weight off. And, she's a very positive person, but she's in this environment where she's constantly being stuffed down and, just in a negative environment. She's trying to emerge through that. She's like, why can't I lose weight? Why do I keep gaining weight? And I'm like, you're in a cortisol storm. You've been in fight or flight for 13 years. So fortunately, she's going through a divorce, and we're going to get her through this, and then we'll work on all the other techniques that's going to help to restore her metabolically. And because you can't be under that kind of stress and trauma and have it be, have it serve you well. So, anger, resentment, those are easy things to hold on to, blame. And so I think it's, we just all need to take a deep breath and think about where we might be targeting those things. And forgiveness goes a long way. So chronic stress, recognizing when you're under chronic stress and being able to then, again, take a deep breath. I just did a video in my other group this morning about, women and our struggles and our stresses. And, we're strong women and we know what to do for ourselves, but sometimes we just need to be able to reach out a hand and have someone grab our hand and hold it and say, it's all going to be okay. You're going to get through this. Breathe. Sometimes we need that guide. We need the guidance. We need the love, the support. And so you may know what to do. You may think you know what to do, but make sure you have a good, strong support network, because that's huge in longevity as well. So with self-help, keep doing your regular exercises and eat an alkaline diet. So what does that mean? You've probably heard that over the years. First of all, we've got to get rid of the sugar and the refined foods, the refined carbohydrates, processed foods. Processed foods are a killer. I saw a thing on the news this morning, and again, I always say the only reason I watch the news is to help you all guide the crazy narrative that's out there, because people will inevitably come in here and ask me a question about something that was said on the news, and I need to be able to navigate that. So today they talked about this new site or app, and I have to go look it up, but it rates food for people. I forgot what they called it, and it was like, it was rating like, it was rating things like candy and sweet snacks and, ho-hos. Like, do you really need a rating scale to tell you that that's not good to put in your body? No, you don't. And I was surprised that it rated a boiled egg at, I think 50%. I don't know how the scale goes, but it was like 50%, which means that they're basically telling you that eggs are bad again. My God, I'll have to post in here. I went to the farmer's market last week. I paid $7.50 for a dozen duck eggs. I didn't even blink, but I've been doing that for years because they're happy animals. They're happy chickens, happy ducks, and the eggs are amazing. I cracked one of those babies. The yolk is like this big. But that's when it's healthy for you. You don't want a stressed out, you don't want meat or eggs or anything from a stressed out animal. So you've got to seek out the healthy food sources for you, because you're going to then eat those stress hormones. Eggs are not bad. So I was, that's why people, and 1 week they're good and 1 week they're bad, unless you have an allergy to eggs, then that's a whole different story, but that is a whole different story. Okay. So, let's see, where are we at? So nutrients that help improve circulation include bilberry, ginkgo biloba, zeaxanthin, saffron, and nattokinase. Nattokinase is like this. It's like this sticky. It's a Japanese. It's a Japanese food. It's like a fermented food. So anyway, it's supposed to be really good for the gut microbiome. But basically these are things that help build your gut, and they're high in antioxidants. And every process in the body has what's called free radicals. So it's like waste products, right? So you let's say you're cooking dinner and you've got food scraps. Those are like free radicals. And then you put them in your composter, and your composter then breaks everything down, and now it becomes like this fresh new thing that you can use and reuse again. So that's how free radicals and antioxidants work. Antioxidants, foods that are high in antioxidants, blueberries, all of these things come in and they sweep up, they take out the garbage of the free radicals. Unfortunately, we have a lot of exposure for free radicals these days. So we have to be mindful of that. Let's see where we're going here. Studies have shown that stress can cause functional and structural changes in the brain, specifically the hippocampus, including atrophy, which means shrinking of the brain, and neurogenesis disorders. Chronic stress and consequently an increase in plasma cortisol, so that's your stress. It's the hormone that, we get the tire around the middle, and that's where you're in fight or flight. Cortisol is what helps you lift a car off of, a child. It gives you those superhuman powers. And so recognizing that your cortisol levels need to be managed as well. So when you're constantly in fight or flight, you're always going to have high cortisol levels. So we were not meant to have chronic stress. We were meant for acute stress. Run from the saber-toothed tiger, pick the car up off the child. But we were not meant for day-to-day chronic stress. It's really hard on the body, burns out your adrenal glands, damages your gut, which then causes more brain inflammation. So you see the circle, right? It's called the gut-brain axis for a reason. So this also goes on to say that chronic stress actually decreases the neural pathways in your brain, and it prevents you from actually making more neural pathways. So the brain is what's called plastic, which means it has the ability to build more synapses or connections to help you think clearly and help you make decisions better and help you live life better. This is why younger people can learn so swiftly, because they have better synaptic connections. So we have to protect that. That's why they say too, do crossword puzzles or Sudoku as you get older, because it helps stimulate that neural growth in the brain. So, make sure you're continually stimulating your brain activity, not just in front of the TV. When chronic stress is experienced, the body makes more cortisol, and that has a chance to release, which then over time wears down the brain, disrupts the synaptic regulation, and killing those brain cells will shrink the size of the brain. So, again, you can see now that this is really, if you're thinking, oh, my brain is fine, but I have all these other metabolic issues, then you got to take care of the metabolic issues, because if you don't, you might not feel it at first. See, the brain doesn't have, there's no pain fibers up there, right? So brain doesn't feel anything, but it helps you perceive life. And if we go back earlier, it's 20% of the work in your body on a daily basis. So we have got to protect this baby. Chronic inflammation in Alzheimer's disease is very common, and what they're finding is that they have these plaques, these amyloid beta peptide plaques, and it's caused from chronic inflammation, which comes from poor quality diet, poor quality lifestyle, not exercising, breathing smog and pollution, which is why, a lot of times we can't do anything about the environment outside, but what we can do is control our environment inside. So, be mindful of, eat foods that are going to flush out all the toxic pollutants that are in the air, because that changes your hormone levels. It makes all the regulatory pathways in your body, it causes them all to go haywire. So inflammation in the brain causes shrinkage, decreased neurogenesis, and neurodegeneration, which means that's all like, the nerves regenerating and, building new pathways. Chronic intestinal inflammation, here we go again. Chronic intestinal inflammation is associated with decreased neurogenesis and subgranular region of the hippocampus, which is responsible for learning, memory, and mood control. So that's a big one. I want to sit on that one for a minute, because the hippocampus is responsible for learning, memory, and mood control. And again, how many people have brain fog, focus issues, memory issues? You can't remember, I don't know, what you did yesterday. Can't remember what you ate yesterday. Can't remember what you did over the weekend, and it's only Monday. Or small little things, where to leave my keys. So being super mindful of that, if those are little signs right now that you've got to take care of yourself and your brain so that you can get the inflammation down and be able to then have a more protective brain as you get older. You want to be sharp as a tack. I mean, think about this. First of all, if you're carrying extra weight, have you ever seen an overweight or fat 90-year-old person? Never. They're always very thin and very lean. And they got there for a reason, because they took care of their health. Now, somebody somewhere along the way is going to say, my grandfather smoked and drank till the day he died and he lived till 100. Somebody's going to say that. I get it. There's a one-off somewhere, but not in today's world. We're at 80% overweight in our current society, with approaching 40% clinically obese. So these are all disease processes that are going to cost us even more than it already costs us. And did I put that quote in there? Oh, yesterday when I posted this, that it's estimated to cost our society $290 billion. That was in 2019. Think about that. Almost $300 billion is what Alzheimer's disease is costing us. You know, when I was a kid, I mean, if you heard of somebody having Alzheimer's, it was rare. Raise your hand. Drop that in there if you have experienced the same thing. Like, why does, Alzheimer's and dementia seems like, oh, we're all destined to get it. Well, if we continue to live in our current world, yes, we are all going to succumb to some kind of brain disease. I want to be that person who people say, wow, she's sharp as a tack, 80 years old, sharp as a tack, active. Wow, look at her go. And I think I mentioned this last week when I was at my family reunion 2 weeks ago. And all my aunts and uncles, they're all in their 80s and 90s, and they're amazing. And they are, like whips in their brain, super active, very vibrant people. So think about that. And what does your genetic pathway look like? And if your genetics don't look like mine do, then you really need to shore it up, because you can't change it, because it's 75% of people or 75% of our metabolic issues and our lifestyle issues are our own doing. So, all right, you guys, that's where I got to leave it for today. I have people walking in. We're going to continue. We'll continue next week. I'll see you next Monday. Have an amazing week. Drop your comments. Please invite people into the group to get this incredibly valuable information, and we will see you soon. All right. Have a great day. I got to go heal the world.